Welcome back. How we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The dance has begun. The dance. Bailar. Howdy. Marvin. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Beautiful morning. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Hope you woke up feeling good. Oh, nice, chef. Went long Microsoft. Nice. Hey. Yeah, good demand. Morning, Camila. My friend actually just had a baby. Same name. That reminds me. Such a cute girl. Shout out Jake. He's not listening. My friends don't watch my streams, man. My friends don't watch my streams. Actually, you know what? One of them maybe. Maybe one of them. Morning, guys. All right. Wait a few minutes for some people to jump in. Hope you guys had a good day yesterday. Some decent action yesterday. Overall market pretty much stayed in the exact range that it was. You know, the ES pretty much stayed in that exact sort of 4760, 4750 zone. The NASDAQ had a little bit of weakness and a pretty clear rejection of previous day lows, so that was decent. It's Mikey? Is it Mikey? Mikey R? Maybe? What's up, Mikey? If that's you. Gaming streams start when I move back to Naples. So, and I get my new PC. I purchased a new PC. Shout out Makusama. I had to get a new PC, man. The PC I have it doesn't have enough juice. So, I got a new PC. I made sure to buy. I'm sure some of you probably know the deal, but you gotta make sure to buy as much stuff as you want before the end of year for taxes. So, you know, a PC is a good tax write-off for me. It definitely goes along with the business that I do. It's YouTube, right? So, if I stream with it. So I went ahead and purchased a new PC, 4070 Ti, the Intel 14900K, 64 gigabytes of DDR5. So it should be good. It better be good. It better be good enough to do some gaming streams. I game a lot, something you may not know about me. So I figured, why not once in a while throw it on stream, have a little bit of fun. Now, I didn't get the 4090. I don't know. It just wasn't worth the extra. I think it was like another $2,000 for the, like $1,500 for the 4090. I just said, I think the 4070 Ti is probably good enough. Do I play Roblox? No. I do not play Roblox. All right, let's get started. What game? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see whatever. We'll see what I'm feeling that day. It's probably gonna be mostly. I mean, it's gonna be gaming, but I'm sure there's gonna be the side conversations of trading as well. So it'll be a little bit of both. Do I find the MacBook? My Mac Mini has started to. It feels like it's starting to slow down, man. I'll tell you that. If I have Zoom, Discord, TOS, Interactive Brokers, and OBS open at the same time, which is quite a bit. That's a lot of stuff running at the same time. It gets a little bit tired. So we'll see. It might just not have enough RAM. But I mean, most people aren't opening those 5 things at the same time. So you guys would probably be okay. All right, let's get started. 8:05. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you again for the support. As always, road to 100K. If you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are enjoying some of the content lately. I've been trying to push out a little bit more. I'm going to try to really stay zoned in, stay locked in this year. That's my goal. So we'll see. I hope you guys are enjoying that. I appreciate the support on yesterday's video. It was actually one of the top performing videos on the channel in the last 30 days. So really awesome to see that. Awesome to see some support there. That definitely motivates me. So thank you for that. If you guys could press that like button. Here we go. Let's get it. Let's get it going. All right. So economic calendar. That's where we start. Yeah, I got to change that studio equipment in my description, doctor. I looked at that the other day when I was resetting some stuff on the streams, and I realized that was I think that's a little bit outdated. So yeah, I'll update that. All right, here we go. Economic calendar. Yesterday we had JOLTS, we had ISM, FOMC minutes. You guys saw FOMC minutes. It was up, down, really no direction, just sort of volatility. So really nothing there. That's typically the move, guys. So start understanding that, right? Moving forward, this is really not that major of a market moving event typically. It does create a lot of volatility, as you saw on the candle if you were watching. But, you know, the overall direction, really not there. Servant Thought gifted 1 membership. Thank you, man. Thank you for gifting La Ace Boogie. La Ace Boogie. I need to sort of work on the memberships for the YouTube channel. To be honest, you know, YouTube channel memberships is really just a way to support me, a way to say thank you. But I want to, and also for me to see your name in green, and I'll definitely respond to your questions. But Warzone with Doc, I wish, man. But I want to try to think of something you can actually get value from. So here we go. ADP today, 8:15, in about what is that? That's about 6 minutes. You have 7 minutes. You have ADP non-farm employment change. We'll see if there's any movement there. 8:30 unemployment today. That's every Thursday. So we got unemployment, normal stuff on Thursdays, and that's pretty much it for today, guys. So just a little bit of 8:15, 8:30 action, and that's about it. Tomorrow, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and ISM services PMI. So a little bit of 8:30 tomorrow, a little bit 8:30 today, and that's about it. Let me double check on the Treasury notes, Treasury bond auctions, because I haven't checked that in a few days. And let me make sure we are not approaching anything that's important here. Today is January 4th. 8 week today. I don't think that's, I mean, we can maybe keep an eye out that at 1 o'clock today. So right here, 4 week bill, 8 week bill. That's today, January 4th. So that'll be at 1 p.m. today. We didn't really see much at 1 o'clock yesterday on the 17 week. These are really the big ones, right? The ones in bold. I appreciate God. Dre gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, guys, this is how much is the I think it's like $5 to gift a member, something like that. 3-year note, 10-year note, 30-year bond. That's next week, January 9th, January 10th, January 11th. That's really that's going to most likely have a little bit more volatility than, let's say, you know, today, the 4 week and 8 week bill, right? That's really nothing major. You can keep an eye out for it, just to be aware of that. Today at 1 o'clock, But the ones in bold are usually the big ones. So that is next Tuesday, next Wednesday, next Thursday. 3-year, 10-year, 30-year is next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right? So just be aware of that. All right. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the NASDAQ futures. And we are seeing a very, very clean move as of right now. So you guys remember me talking about the FOMC lows yesterday, right? I hope you do. I hope you remember that, right? That should have been a pretty easy thing to remember from yesterday, was us screaming and hollering about the FOMC lows. And you are perfectly rejecting the FOMC lows. So there is more weakness on this market, right? This is the perfect rejection of FOMC lows right here in the pre-market today. You can see it right there. Right? Absolutely perfect. So 16,580 FOMC lows. That's a pretty clear rejection. And what kept me short yesterday, right? And this is, I hope you guys are, you're understanding, because if you remember when the market was going higher, if you remember the video I made about market structure, what were we talking about while the market was moving higher over the last month, right? Back in December, when we were just sort of going straight up, what was happening? The market was turning the previous day highs into new lows, right? We had stair-stepping upside moves. Previous day highs into new lows, right? So we were doing something like this. Previous day highs into new lows on a pullback, right? And we were holding those levels, and we were stair-stepping higher, right? We just continued to turn the previous highs into new lows, and we stair-stepped higher. What is happening now, right? And so it's very easy. I don't want to say easy, but it makes sense, right? If you really pay attention to the market, if you just pay attention to the levels and you block out all the bullshit that's going around, right? What happened yesterday that should have kept you bearish, right? Previous day lows into new highs, right? That is just textbook bearish stair-stepping action now to the downside, right? So these are those little things to be watching every single day. What is happening at the previous day low? What is happening, right? Are we back above previous day lows? Are we still below it, right? If you just focus on the chart, right, and you just focus on where are the levels, you can make sense of the moves going on in the market. So you can see right here, that is our Tuesday low, right? Pretty textbook Tuesday low, 16,625. Where did we reject the entire day yesterday? At that exact low from Tuesday, right? It's not hard to sort of understand if you block out all the noise, right? If you just focus on where's our low, what level is rejecting today, right? Is this a structural move? And yes, right, this is very key. And so yesterday with the group in the community, I was saying, right, I am staying short. I will not exit shorts today if the NASDAQ is below the previous day low. Why, right? Why would I exit shorts if the NASDAQ cannot get above it can't even get above the previous day low, right? So these are those things, those intraday sort of management things that I look for to understand where my position is. What's the standing of my current position? If I'm short and that NASDAQ's under the previous day lows, I am holding this position. If we were to get above that low, I told the group I'm going to probably stop out of some shorts. I'm not as confident on the downside. If we start to push above, right, if yesterday we started to get a move like this yesterday, right, if we started to see something like this and the NASDAQ started to maintain that previous day low, right, if we started to see this happen and we started to hold back above it, then yeah, that's probably a pretty decent, it's a pretty clear reason why the market might be trying to gain some strength, right? So it's those little things like that, guys, those intraday structural things to be looking for. That is extremely clean yesterday, and it should make sense to a lot of you. This is where you need to get to, right? This is that ultimate goal, I think, for understanding price action. That is something you needed to see yesterday, and if you did, well done, right? If you understood that yesterday and you saw it and you stayed short, well done. If you didn't see that yesterday, then it's a little bit more work, right? You got a little bit more work to do because that's something that needs to be understood, All right, that's something that needs to be understood. And if you're not there yet, it's okay. Keep working towards it. Keep understanding this price action that is extremely clear yesterday. All right, let's move on. So let's go back to our daily chart, okay? And let's go back to if you guys remember that analysis we did yesterday morning, early morning, right? What were we talking about? We were talking about this high right here, right? And we are coming down into that 16,640, right? And so the high of this candle is 16, what did I say 640? I meant 440. 16,458. 16,458 is the high of that wick back in July. That is, the high of this wick is 16,415. So I'm going to put a little line at 415 as well, just because. And so what you can see here, right, is you have this previous high and this wick high, which is some pretty major previous supply rejections that if we go down to the short-term time frames here, we are starting to trade into. This is what we talked about yesterday, right? We talked about being a little bit cautious as the NASDAQ approaches this level. So I'm still cautious, right? I'm still cautious because if I look at this chart without bias, right, and I actually just monitor this chart and what it's doing, this is still possibly a break and retest hold for more upside, right? It's very possible. It's very possible that this market holds here. Everyone sort of gets in very aggressive short. All right, this could be the perfect disaster for a lot of shorts. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it's going to go one way or the other, but this is the perfect disaster for a lot of shorts, a lot of late shorts, okay? Because there's plenty of short opportunities already, and there was plenty of money to be made. But there's going to be late shorts, right? There's going to be the chasers, the people that just think we're going to zero, right? And this is definitely, potentially, a late short sort of squeeze. And I would be cautious here. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's not why I do analysis on this YouTube channel. I do not try to predict what's going to happen. But I prepare, right? I prepare for all outcomes. And if you are not prepared for that outcome, you will short into this demand and you will question why the market's going higher. So be careful of that, okay? This is important. This is going to be a zone that starts to dance. You have the previous highs from July. You have the wick high right there, and you have traded down into it, right? And there could be, a little bit of action there, a little bit of a demand hold that could, right, create a little bit of late short drama, right? It could. So how do you know if that starts to happen, right? How do you know if that starts to happen? Well, what would have to happen for this to actually, right? And this is how you play this. Okay, so let me talk through how you would actually play this. You do not just long here, okay? There's no business in just longing right there. None. You have no business doing that, at least in my opinion. You are totally fighting a trend. There's no reason, in my opinion, to be just longing that demand. If you are looking to see if this market does hold this zone, right? If that holds that zone, right? You need to at the very least, get at least back over Tuesday's lows and yesterday's highs, right? At the very least, if this market has any type of strength off this demand down here, right? It needs to, at the very least, get over Tuesday's lows and yesterday's highs. If you see that move, then you might start to see some of that, upside action come in. But until then, you do not try to front run this market. You do not try to long off this demand. I don't think there's any reason to do that. This demand could absolutely slip. You could absolutely move lower. And if you look back at it, right, if you long this demand here, you're going to look back, and if we drop through it, right, if you long this demand and we drop through it, you're going to look back at the trade and you say, I had no reason to enter long. There was never any type of strength, okay? So, guys, if your levels don't match, then then they don't match. What do you want me to say? If they don't match my charts, then figure it out why, right? Change your levels, right? I have these numbers, guys, on the right side of the screen. Those are numbers on the stock market, right? I don't choose the numbers on my right side column, okay? If they don't match, maybe you're doing something different. All right. So, NASDAQ, right? I would not just try to long here. I don't think you want to fight this trend that's moving lower. I would want to at least, at the very least, get back over yesterday's highs and Tuesday's lows. Maybe then, right? Maybe then you can get a little bit of upside. But until then, I don't like it. All right. Now, what would I look for potential short opportunities today? Well, first of all, I would absolutely be watching this FOMC low, right? I'm actually going to move it up to 85 right there. Why my numbers don't match, but not me? And then I'm also going to put on this 540 here as well, because I don't mind watching this little 540 level right in there. And here's why, because that's the previous day low, right? So I'm going to put this level on. And I'm going to go down to, let's go to the 5-minute chart, and let's sort of review this in extreme short term today, right? And so here is sort of what I'd be watching. If the market bounces, right, I would look to see if these lows from yesterday and this low right here turns into a rejection, right? I would look for that today. 16,540, right? 16,540. That is something that I would be watching to see if we could get a bounce and rejection, right? That would sort of be my spot that I would be eyeing right in this area. Previous day close, right in that area. Previous lows, general lows from yesterday, this little pre-market low that we flushed and rejected here in the pre-market. So if we do get a bounce today, this would be a spot that I would look for shorts. Now, if you get above that level today, then my next level I'd look for is that FOMC low. It's this pre-market high. It's that FOMC low, right? That would be my next supply level to watch for. And then obviously, if you get more upside, you're watching previous day highs up here, okay? So those are my 3 levels above today. You got previous day lows, you got that FOMC low, and you got that previous day high, right? Those are my 3 levels to watch for. If we bounce, do we see supply rejections, right? If you get above previous day highs, then I think your mindset needs to shift a little bit, right? If we get above that previous day high and that Tuesday low, then that could be where this market tries to start to move higher. But we're not going to guess that happens until it actually does. And then your demand below, I think, could get pretty heavy down here around 16,460. Okay, that again is that 4-hour. It's that little action right here. You have a little bit of action right here around that 16,460. You have some previous highs around that 16,415, right? You have a little bit of action there. And then obviously, if you go back to the daily chart, that's that previous high. I know the lines are all there, but that's this previous high around 16,460 right here. So I'd be a little bit careful short into that 16,460. Now, if 16,460, right, if we move lower today, and we have 16,460 turn into a rejection point. Let me zoom in. All right, if we start seeing something like this today, if we start getting this and this starts rejecting, then yeah, we're probably going to move lower, okay? So 16,460 demand, that's something I'm watching. And then obviously those pushes to the upside for supply rejections. QQQ. What a beautiful 400 rejection, right? And this is what we were just talking about, right? Look at this. Previous day lows. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely perfect. Perfect. Previous day lows, 400 rejections all day yesterday. That is remaining bearish. Now, you can see today, we're still under that 400. And so for me, guys, right, there is absolutely, at least how I trade. Jay Price, morning, enjoy coffee. Consider verification method to chat like X. Match the picture that represents 3 rocks. Might solve some chat questions. Okay, you're saying so we don't get the bots. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it as always, man. So for me, right, the way I trade, there is absolutely no reason to long this market unless it is over Tuesday's lows and Wednesday's highs. All right, that's just how I would structure my day, right? It takes questions out of your mind. It simplifies your trading. I would say to myself, you are not longing the market if you are below 400, okay? You are not trying to long this market into yet previous day highs, into Tuesday's lows, all right? It just doesn't really align well with me to be able to do that, all right, or to look to do that. I would consider a long in the market if you hold above 400, right? Above 400, maybe targeting that 403. But I'm not going to try to long into these supply levels in a downtrending market. Right? If the market was not downtrending over the last 2 days, right, different story. But the recent trend has been weak. I'm not going to fight the recent trend and try to long into previous supply levels. I'm going to look to see if those supply levels actually turn into rejections that I could play, right? A rejection, rejection, rejection. So that's my mindset right now. Now, that does not mean, right? Make sure you understand this. That does not mean I'm shorting into demand, it does not mean I'm going to start shorting into demand levels. That's not what that means, right? I'm not going to just start shorting at the demand levels and see this move happen. So the demand levels that I'm watching today, first one is really not that big of one, right? I don't think this is that major of a demand level, but there is a little bit of action back here that I'm slightly concerned about, right? Just to be sort of aware of it. There's a little bit of action. Let me go to that in a little bit more detail. There's a little bit of action right here, right in this general. I don't really know if it's exactly 397, but you can sort of see in here, you have like this sort of consolidation 397 area, right in this general zone here. There could be a little bit of action at that 397 today. That's something I am just going to put on my charts and be aware of, right? That 397 level. Below 397, though, you have this right here. Below 397, you have this 394.50 right there. 394.50 is your next demand to be watching. So I have 394.50 and I have 397 marked out as potential hold levels on the market today. If I go to the hourly chart again, right, you can see that is how I have my levels marked out. 397, 394.50. But you can, if you sort of look at this chart, right, and you look at how we moved higher, it was a pretty aggressive straight up move. And so it is very possible. Right, I'm going to try to delete some of these lines to clean this up for you guys. But it is very possible that we just have to come back down to where this entire move started, right? And so I have 394.50. I have the 397. Where this move really started is right here, right? Where did this upside move really start? This upside move all originated right there, right? From this consolidation, right? This is how the market works. You have your consolidation zone and you have your upside move. So I am not that confident in anything holding until probably this 391 level, right? I'm not that confident in anything holding until probably this 391 level. And this 391 level is really where it all started. That's where this upside originated from. So I'll watch 397, right? I'll watch 394.50. I'll keep an eye on those zones to be careful of shorting into. But really, right, if this market wants to give back this upside, it's really going to be back to that 391. That's really the major level below, right? That's really the major level below 391 on the QQQ. That's where everything sort of started from right here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense in the analysis here. So 397, 394.50, 391. This is the major one. Until then, I'm just going to monitor demands and make sure I'm not shorting into demand levels. Now, this is really, all the NASDAQ analysis aside, this is really what matters today. right? And I'm not saying that the NASDAQ does not matter today, but this is really what matters today, right? This is really the level and the major zone to be watching today. And that is 47.50. 47.50 on the ES is a major triple bottom and a potential, right? This is sort of your zone up here. That would be a break of a consolidation here, all right? A large term consolidation. You have demand, and you're dancing at this level today. A break of this level is what would cause downside on the market, right? A break of this level will cause downside on the market into a low volume gap, right here. This is a straight up move from FOMC. You have straight up, and you have really no support in this area. And right now, the ES is trying to hold this low, and it's dancing at this level today, right? This is really what matters. This is the most important level of the day. And we can go to the 5-minute chart, right? And we can see the dance that is occurring. And I talked about this level yesterday, and I said it's going to get difficult trading in this zone. So I would proceed with a lot of caution in here today, guys. This could be a death trap for 0 DTE options. This could be a death trap for anyone trying to short futures, right? You could get a little bit of something like that, right? You could get this, instantly get taken out, right? You can get something like this, instantly get taken out, right? I would be cautious trading in this 10-point range. Anywhere between 47.60, 47.50 area. That's going to be tough. It's going to be messy. You can already see the mess that's being created. You can see yesterday's mess. You can see the mess here. It's just a major zone and something to be cautious of today. What I would really want to see is a very clear break, right, and hold below this level, right? I want to see a very clear break and a very clear lower high being formed. I want a lower high at the demand, right? I want a lower high right here to form, and then, right, it could get a little bit more clear and more down. You could get some more downside, right? That's what I would love to see for that clear short opportunity. If we can get a very clear hold under this demand low here, under these lows, under this low here, under all this action here, if we can get something really clear and a nice hold below, then I think you can get that sort of juice, that continuation. Until then, right, I would not be trading shorts on, let's say, a 2-minute time frame. All right, if you're taking a short because, oh, here goes the ES, oh my God, right, I'm short because of this candle, it would make me sweat, right? If you know the risks, then you know experienced someone who's traded in something like this would know that this is a very sweaty short entry right now, because you could get something just like that. You could get this in the next 5 minutes. And so just be careful in here. I would look at this a little bit larger term. I would be very patient. I would not be, instantly short on some type of a flush in this zone. Could get very aggressive, very volatile. Just please understand that today. All right? That is a major zone on the ES. Here's the 4-hour. You guys can see. 4-hour chart. The previous high that we were talking about was that 47.25 that I'm sort of watching here. You sort of have this, what is this high here? 47.40. That actually could be where that ES sort of moves to, right in here. 47.40. That's actually, let me go ahead and zoom in here real quick. Yeah, okay, so that's actually sort of that low from yesterday, right? That 47.40, right? So maybe even that 47.40 is something to be aware of, right? You have that previous day low right here at 47.40, which bounced. So even if you trade into that 47.40 today, you could still get that. Let me go back to that 4-hour chart. That's actually a good watch here. See this 4-hour? This 47.40 high right here on the 4-hour chart. This is back from July 27th. July 27th, 4-hour high right here is 47.40. That could be something to be careful of here, right? That could have a little bit of a demand bounce. You have to be careful of that. Now, if you really get under this and you start to really get that aggression to the downside today, then I would absolutely be looking to target this downside move, right? Right under there. That would be a nice slip towards that 4,700. All right? SPY, same exact analysis. I'm actually going to, let me see something here real quick. Yeah, so here's sort of what I like to do when I see something like this. If I'm looking at this hourly chart, right? I'm looking at this hourly chart. I see this gap below. I know that we can slide through that. I'm sort of cautious, though, of, let's say, a wick around this level, right? So you can see here, if we go back to that Wednesday that we dropped, right? You have that wick low right here around 467.35. So I'm still, right? For my own caution, I would put a level there, right? Just so that if you're trading intraday and you're like, okay, hold on, right? I'm approaching something, right? You sort of like that, like Super Smash Bros. New opponent approaching, all right? I want to make sure I'm aware of any opponents against my position that could approach. So I would put a level there on the SPY personally. I would make sure you have this wick low marked out because that could sort of do a little dance right there, right? You could get a little drop and then pop back up off that wick low. It's absolutely possible. So 467.37 is that wick low. I'd have something there, right? And then it's this 468.50 low that's trying to hold right now. That's here, right? And that's yesterday's lows there. So 468.50, you got this wick low here on the hourly chart, and then after that, right, it's sort of that gap that you can probably move lower towards that. I would say probably towards that 465, 464 area. It's where I'd put my level. I'd put it like right here at 465, right there. And then I would take profits into that 465 if you get that short. Okay? And then on the same thing, same side, right? Let's look at this. You have this 471 to 470, or sorry, 470 to 470.50. And the reason I would have both, I would actually probably do this. I'm not going to lie. I would probably do this. This is how I would set up my chart. I would do a zone between this entire area. I would do just like that. And the reason I would do that is because I would not long anywhere in this red zone. And the reason I would not long anywhere in this red zone is because, one, 470 rejections, and then also previous day lows at 470.50. So I would not want to be long anywhere under previous day lows. All right, I would actually look for previous day lows to turn into a rejection on any type of bounce. All right, so 468.50, 20 SMA, yesterday's lows. That's possible demand here. You got some supply above at previous day lows here, and then you have that potential wick low demand around that 467.50 area. All right, let's move on. Let's run an ad real quick because we have 700 likes. Can't press the like button. Press that like button. Help me get to 1,000 likes on the stream. I'd appreciate that. All right. So, oh baby, you know what, man? Just so you guys can say, oh, Desi signed into his Interactive Brokers account live, right? I can't believe it. I'm gonna sign right into my Interactive Brokers account. I'm gonna show you guys every position I currently hold, and we're gonna talk about how beautiful, right? How beautiful this IWM 196 break and retest that is currently going on. You guys can see right here. I don't want to show my information. It's just not worth it. But you'll see it's not, you'll see it logging in. There we go. You got to use my face. Okay. And so right now, I am in IWM puts, Coinbase puts, and I'm also in Google puts, which is against me. I'm red on those. We'll let this log in. It'll take a second here. and we will look at the positions that I'm currently in. And the one that I love more than anything, is this IWM put, man. I am very excited for this setup. It looks really, really good. Delete that. So here you go, guys. So right now, I am still in these IWM puts, which are up, as of close yesterday, 91%. And you guys can see IWM, beautiful 196 rejection coming in right now. Coinbase and Google, so we'll see what happens today. But man, is this position right here going to get exciting today. Is this IWM position here. It's going to get pretty exciting today. And shout out to you guys in the chat that caught that trade. That is a sexy, sexy trade. And here we go. Let's review it real quick. So what did we talk about on IWM? Look at this death. Look at this potential death that is ensuing on IWM, right? Look at this upside. Straight up, right? With no demand, with no support, right? Just straight up. And you have now done the absolutely perfect textbook technical reason to see more downside. You have gotten a perfect break and retest of previous demand lows. This looks fantastic. And if I get any type of entry today, if I get any type of bounce back into that 196, I will absolutely look to add into this position and continue to stay short IWM under 196 because this is textbook. So if you get a bounce today, watch 196, man. This could be a really nice, that would be a gift. That would be a gift from above. If you get a bounce into 196 today, that is a gift from above because that could be a really nice re-entry short back at those demand lows for another rejection of supply. If you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you because this thing's probably about to go onto a free fall here if it does not bounce today, right? If you keep getting this move lower, there is free fall action ensuing here. So 188 is really the next demand, maybe like 189. But yeah, love that. So big time. Very excited for this one today. Hopefully this is a nice payout today. All right, let's continue. Let's go to some stocks. Here we go. So Tesla, nasty yesterday. And there was one move yesterday that I was about to take, but I just couldn't get myself to short Tesla after this drop, right? This was a nasty drop. And I was like, all right, maybe I can catch a little bit of continuation here. But I started to, I just started to think twice about it, I guess. And I guess maybe it's just this move that turned me off. I would have liked to maybe get this, right? But I never got that. And so yesterday in the chat, we were saying, okay, watch this 100 SMA rejection, right? Look at this 100 SMA rejection that came in on Tesla yesterday. Right there. You broke the 100 SMA, right? You retested it, and you couldn't get back above the 100. That was a very interesting entry there. And I know some of you guys in the chat caught that one. That was a beautiful slip. And even later in the day, right? Look at later in the day. Where did Tesla reject? Perfect 100 SMA level, right? Daily 100 SMA, perfect rejection right there. So for me today, right, this is what I would do. I would make sure you got a nice thick boy line right here, and I would make sure that you're watching this 100 SMA, right? Because if Tesla, and you can even see here in the pre-market today, it popped towards that 100 and started to reject again. So I would make sure to be watching this 100 on Tesla. And if you start to trade back towards that level, I would look to see if that level rejects again. So that's number one. And you can see, right? Look at this hourly chart. You can see that this could just be a little bit of a consolidation for another drop to the lows, right? You can see right here. If we start to break if we start to break this low again, right, this could be continuation. So I would absolutely be watching that. I would be just a little bit cautious trading Tesla in a channel, right? That's a little bit, I'm a little bit cautious of that, right? I don't love trading Tesla or any stock in a channel, right? Because Tesla really is in this channel right here, right? You are back in this channel. So I don't love that. But if you stay under that 100 SMA, right? If you stay under that 100 SMA, I do not mind that downside continuation. But I would want to get an entry as close as possible to the 100, right? I wouldn't want to be entering at the lows. I'd want an entry up at that 100, right? So, yeah, 50 SMA below, probably some demand there, Chef. So 234, 232, right? Right here. Probably a little bit of demand, so I would just watch out for that. NVIDIA. I'm going to leave NVIDIA alone today. I do not like what it did yesterday. I would not be trading NVIDIA. I'm going to go right past NVIDIA to make this a little bit speedier here on the live stream. I do not like NVIDIA. Do not trade NVIDIA between 472 and 484. There's no reason. You have no reason to trade NVIDIA in this zone right here. It's a disaster, right? It was a disaster Tuesday afternoon. It was a disaster all day yesterday. You could look for the supply rejections. You could look for the demand holds if you really want to trade this channel. But what I would look for personally is breaks of the channel. If NVIDIA breaks 472, right, then it could get a little bit more flushy. It could get a little bit more clean. I would not want to trade in this channel. It's just too messy. At the end of the day, on top of it being a messy channel, it's also NVIDIA. It's also a very crazy stock to trade. It will absolutely smack you across the face if you're wrong. And I just don't like doing and partaking in that type of trading, especially on a stock like NVIDIA in a channel like that, right? Look at yesterday's price action. It's just, guys, this is not going to make you money ever, right? Maybe you caught the 20 SMA rejection. Sure, right? Yeah, not bad, right? That's actually a pretty nice trade. But after this 20 SMA rejection yesterday, right, it is disaster zone. So I would stay away from it today unless you get a move outside of this channel, right? I would want to get out of there first. All right. AMD. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. AMD broke. Okay. So AMD 137 supply, look at that. That is sexy. That's the 20 SMA, right? Look at that 20 SMA right there. It rejected the 20 yesterday. It rejected the 20 in the pre-market today, and it's actually breaking below the 134.50 level. 134. I wonder if I need to have something at 134 as well, but I'm going to keep this 134.50 level on my charts. You can see that that was a previous demand here, and you've broken below it. So today, what would I look for? If AMD holds below 134.50 right here, if AMD holds below that level, you're going to move into that 132. All right? So under 134.50, 132. Okay? Let's go to Square because Square was a beautiful rejection yesterday of our 1 hour supply. So you guys can see right here. Whoops. Let me get a little bit more time here. Right here, here's Square. We had that 1 hour supply. Very nice push and rejection of that level. The demand looks to be around that 68 here today. It did hold that 68 yesterday. So I'd be careful of that 68. Under that, you got 66. I don't know. I think this downside might be sort of coming to an end here. At least the juicy downside that I really wanted to catch. So just, I would say a little bit cautious at some of these previous lows on Square. I would say the next juicy downside would probably be under this 66. Under this 66, you probably can move pretty quickly through here towards that 63. But I would be a little bit careful shorting Square into this 68 today. It's pretty decent hold level. It held yesterday. I would look for the bounce back into 70, if anything. All right. Let's go to Amazon. Holy shit. All right. Damn. I charted out Amazon this morning, but this has drastically changed. So Let me get a little bit more time here. Huh. 146. That's a big level. Yeah, 146 is big. Under 146, it looks like you got like 143 and the 50 SMA. All right, let me get in a little bit more detailed here. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to short into that 146 right here. That's a little bit tough. So I would want to get something along these lines, right? I don't think I'd want to be short into 146 today. I would want this, right? This could be really nice. If you can get a bounce back into that previous low, that's really where you want to short Amazon. Maybe you could look for the hold under 146 for that extreme weakness. You could look for that, right? If you hold under 146, that could be some extreme weakness. But you are starting to trade into some pretty interesting wicks in this area, guys, right? Make sure you're aware of that. Look at all these wicks that sort of stepped up in the past. So just be a little bit careful of that. A lot of noise at that 146 as well. I'd be a little bit careful at the 146. If you can get a really solid hold below it, then maybe something sets up. If not, look for the bounce and rejection, right? Look for this trend to continue. Look for that bounce, rejection, right? And then continuation of trend. Just a tad bit cautious at 146, I would say, because that is also this major high right here, right? That's not just short term. That's this major high right here. So 146, proceed with a little bit of caution there. Meta. Interesting demand on Meta. You can see right here. This is a little bit cautious for short side as well, right? 340 to 338. You can see that that was a previous demand right here, and it's sort of holding there right now. So I would not want to be too aggressive short on Meta into that 340, right? That's definitely a potential hold level. For now, you are rejecting that 347. So is there maybe a potential bear flag here? Yes, right? Could you get maybe a little potential bear flag short off that 347 back into that demand? Absolutely. So you'd have to look for a really clear rejection of 347 today, but I would be profit taking here, right? I would not be messing around holding shorts in the 340 level, right? Very strong hold on Tuesday, sort of maintained above that 20 yesterday. So if you catch a short on Meta, I would be looking to profit take down at that 340 today, all right? Be careful down there. What else did I want to go over? I wanted to go over Apple, Coinbase, and Microsoft, and Google. Speed round. Press the like button. Quickly. Here we go. Apple, 100 SMA, big time level today, and that 181.50. This is big time level here. It's around 181.50. Yeah, 181.50. Is that level it looks like. And then you got the 100 SMA at 182. This is big level here. Previous highs, previous demand lows. You got the 100 SMA and 181.50 coming in here right now. So big time level on Apple, right? And it's pretty damn weak into it. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a tough spot for Apple right here. This is going to be hard to trade in my opinion. Right between these two lines. Right? Why here? Because not only do you have the 100, you have the 200, right? And you have a demand. So this could be a pretty difficult level to read here. What I would really rather play on Apple, right? If I really wanted to trade Apple, what would I actually want to trade on Apple? It would be, and I know it's not going to happen today, but it would be this, right? This is really what I'd be looking to trade on Apple. That right there. I would not be shorting after this move into the 100, the 200, and previous demand. Yeah, I'm not interested. It could flush, all right? And if it does, it's going to move the market lower. But I don't know if I have interest into that. Coinbase. Ron, thank you, man. Yellow Giraffes, thanks for the support. Ron, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you for the help. You got it, my friend. All right, Coinbase, very interesting chart. And I wanted to make sure to go over this one. because this is sort of retest central right now on Coinbase. And here's why. So you have on Coinbase a previous high, a previous low, and yesterday a high. You also have the 20 SMA right above. So if Coinbase rejects right here, if Coinbase rejects previous day lows, yesterday's rejection point, and this 20 SMA today, if we start to see rejections here, I am still interested in further downside. If Coinbase gets above 156, right, then it's going to move higher into 161. It's going to move higher into that Tuesday pre-market low and into that Tuesday after hour high. So all about, for me, this 20 SMA and 156 on Coinbase today. If there's weakness here, I think you can trade back down to that 148. Let's see what happens on that Coinbase. I think that's about, we'll go over Microsoft real quick. Really nothing to talk about on Microsoft, to be honest, guys. It's just a shit show, really. I mean, this is a shit show. So I'm really not that interested. But, you know, there was a demand hold yesterday, which nice job, Chef, if you caught it. But just be aware, guys, this is a pretty nasty chart. I'd stay away from it. All right. That's all I got. If you guys go... Oh. I didn't mean to press that. If you guys could, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Please help me get to, we got 1,000 likes, so I appreciate that. Shirts coming soon. Coming soon. Marvin, shout out Marvin. I'm going to do some sweatshirts because I love wearing sweatshirts in the morning. We'll get them going when I get back and I get settled, man. Right now I'm in limbo. So I don't know if you guys have ever felt that way, but when you're moving somewhere, you're sort of in limbo. You don't want to really get any initiative started because you're sort of about to be moving. So once I get settled, we're going to get things moving. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, guys. That's the goal. That's my goal. I need about 25,000 subscribers this year. So I'm going to keep reminding. I hope you guys can help me with that goal. That'd be an awesome goal by the end of this year. Thank you guys again. Press that like button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.